Mnangagwa's Mafia Cartel rigs Zifa elections with a US $10 million and a car bribe from Chivayo. Family, we are so devastated to realize that Mnangagwa has gone too far. It seems literally there is nothing that Mnangagwa wants to ever run independently in Zimbabwe. There is no entity, there is no parastatal, there is no organization in Zimbabwe that Mnangagwa ever wants to run independent of his influence. And the reasons being just for looting. Right now, we are going to be seeing Zifa being looted big time because we have again seen Kudata Gurei, Chivayo, and the cabal of Emerson Mnangagwa fighting so hard. We were surprised to find that why were these people campaigning so much? ZANU-PF was this time around so much into the campaigns of Zifa to the point that you could not understand what was the reason. We usually thought that Zifa was just an independent board that was running on its own, but it seems that it is no longer like that. Now it has become so politicized, the same way that we have also seen in the colleges where the student representative councils now are so politicized. There's even a SRC that is for ZANU-PF and SRC for opposition, and ZANU-PF is even interfering in the elections, interfering in who should win and things like that, which is quite very unfortunate. Our country has really gone so low. Prince Dubeko Spanda says here, the 2030 cartel has spread its tentacles from dubious tenders to our football, creating more platforms for stealing public funds. Zimbabweans should unite against the cartel. So this is Wigno Chivayo now celebrating that defining moment for Zimbabwe football. Barely 24 hours from now, Zimbabwe's football fraternity will stand on the brink of a momentous occasion, the election of a new Zifa president and board. This is no ordinary event, as it marks critical juncture in the journey of our what. He pledged money, 10 million to Zifa if this guy wins. Why should that be like that? And a car, 200,000 car that he also pledged there. Carlton Mateo here, of course, is one of the sellouts. He's saying a really sad day for football. The Zifa Ethics Committee must come in and stop this nonsense. Say Wikno must start telling us how much he pays in tax. Zimra must start doing their job. So it's the same thing over and over again. We have seen campaigns from different people of ZANU-PF, Nanik Mangwana, and all the Varakashis, and many people campaigning for this guy. And this guy happens to be also one of those that are in the Mutapa, investment. So these are guys that are already within the reach of so much money, and you'd wonder why he wants to have a position there that he has already, and still would want to cross over and come to become again a Zifa president. And the elections themselves, they leave a lot to be desired. A lot of people really were talking about it, and were saying that this is totally unacceptable. So it seems like Mnangagwa is hell-bent on capturing almost everything. Very, very soon we are going to be hearing stories of how monies are going to be looted, how Zifa is going to be doing some kind of tenders or whatever, that will be only involving those people that are already tenderpreneurs in Zimbabwe, making money out of it. Why should the Wikno Chivayo pledge $10 million to Zifa? Zifa is supposed to be running independently. It's not supposed to be having these ZANU-PF people also, involved in everything and becoming part and parcel of what is happening from the campaigns, from the nominations and everything like that. Knowing how ZANU-PF does this thing in a rogue manner, you would obviously know that Zifa would want money, because Zifa would always be broke and they don't have the money. Now, when promised 10 million, obviously, what stops them from rigging the election in favor of the guy that Wikno says if he wins, they are going to be getting the 10 million plus 200,000 car. So this is unfortunate what we continue to see in the country. And I think the guys have just gone too far. This time around, they've just gone too far. And I'm sure Kangoma Kakuririsa, this is the time for the end. I'm telling you, we have just reached the end. And I'm sure very, very soon where we are going, these guys are not going to be there anymore. Because the level to which their stupidity is overflown is just way, way beyond. And I'm sure that Zimbabwean people can stand and defend this. Zimbabwean people should now begin to voice out to this cartel. This cartel is stealing from everywhere, from the roads, from passports. You go to petrol and diesel, you go to mineral resources, you go to government offices and government parastatals. Look at what, you name it. They are just stealing. In the municipalities they are getting in. They are the ones that are being given the tenders and all the stuff. And one wonders when this will ever come to an end. How is Zimbabwe ever going to escape this kind of rot? And it only needs us to continue standing up, resisting Mnangagwa and his cohorts, to make sure that we expose their corruption, whatever they are doing, praying also for the nation of Zimbabwe, and organizing ourselves as the movement for change, to make sure that we put pressure on them. This is a high time that Zimbabwean people must gather together and resist Mnangagwa, especially over this 2030 nonsense that he has brought up. We are really going to see a lot of problems coming to the country because of the 2030 agenda. So this is what it is. We are watching to see. I can say, bet you right now, we are going to hear scandals coming from Zifa as from this moment and onwards. Just watch the space. One of the fine days, we're going to be here and talking about it and say, do you remember that time when the elections of Zifa happened? We said that we are going to be hearing ugly stories that will be coming from Zifa. Once we have Vana Wiki Chivayo, Vana Takuda Tagure, the cartels of Mnangagwa all over, with their hands all over Zifa. This is said. This is said. It's all looting schemes and looting plans. Nobody cares about developing football in Zimbabwe. It's all about personal enrichment and opportunities to make more money while the country is suffering, while football suffers, sports is suffering in the country, everything else is suffering. But who cares? Is there anyone who cares about this? Nobody. They are only hell-bent on making sure that themselves, their children, and their colleagues and cronies are the ones that continue to enjoy the cake of Zimbabwe while Zimbabwean people continue to suffer. And this is something that has to come to an end. In this season of change, let's pray that God intervenes, that God brings his word to pass over the nation of Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is a pariah state. Zimbabwe is a banana republic. Zimbabwe is a painful state to live in, all because of the corruption and mismanagement of Emmerson Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF.